Fidget.
Welcome into the Dad Verb Podcast. Topics around parenting from the lens of a dad.
We're going to kick this episode off with a fact that's about to blow your minds, guys. It's I'm way overhyping it. Andrew here, Saunders here, Ben's here. Welcome to the Dad Verb Podcast. Guys, I'm putting my son to bed right before we start this podcast. And he goes, "Dad, is Pikachu a mouse or a Pika?" And I'm like, "He's a mouse." It says on the Pokemon card, it's an electric mouse Pokemon. No, but it's like a Pika, right? Like, what is, no, it's a mouse. There's not, what's a Pika? So you go on Google. Guys, Google what a Pika is right now. A Pika is a real animal, and it looks like a mouse.
Oh, wow.
There it is. And
a small mountain-dwelling mammal.
It looks just like a mouse, and it is closer in its relation to a rabbit, I think it's called a lagomorph, than a mouse. Pikachu is, in fact, his namesake is a rabbit. That is a generational lie that we need to just bring so much more awareness to. Pikachu is not a mouse. He is a rabbit. And it blew me the hell away. I was like, Henry, oh my gosh. I was like, how did you learn about a Pika? From the mouths
of babes.
Now, here's my real question, though. Since it's Japanese, what is the Japanese word for a Pika?
You know what? I have no clue. I don't even think Pikachu's name in Japan is it Pikachu?
Pikachu?
I don't know. Sure. Well, he says Pika. I don't know. But it just blew me away that my son would even know to identify what a Pika was. Says, like, Henry, how did you even know what a Pika is? He goes, because we're studying food chains. He's in first grade. They're going through food chains. His favorite animal is the orca, and which is on top of the food chain, apex predator. And I was like, really? And you guys learned about Pikas? And he goes, yeah, they are not on top of the food chain. I'm like, I bet they're not. Yeah.
The Japanese word for mouse is not Pika. Yeah.
So, fun fact, guys, to kick off the show, for those listening, I hope that right there, you can tune off. That's it. That's the episode. There it is. That's the episode. But today, going to be chatting about, I want to do a quick little recap because we missed a week last week. I was traveling in Disney, failed to get an episode out. So a quick recap of the fun festivities there, and then maybe a quick dive into potty training, which is something that Saunders kind of brought up at the top of the episode before we started shooting, as a potential topic for us to kind of dive into, because that's something that we are going to be diving into again for the last time, hopefully, fingers crossed, if this vasectomy holds, for the last time, having to potty train someone. Oh, dang, I gotta knock on wood. This isn't wood. If you don't knock on wood when you say knock on wood and it's like plastic or something, is that like a jinx? Is that bad luck? Are you guys superstitious?
I don't know.
I'm not superstitious like that. So.
You're not. Are you a little stitious?
No,
I'm a little stitious.
Right.
A little.
Well, before we dive into the episode, we have to do our sick check. How are your families? Saunders, to start with you.
So we've got to cover 2 weeks or just one?
Just this week.
Oh, good. Then I'm good.
So there's something last week, though. Yeah. You dodged it.
We missed a week, and I was like, I can't do the podcast. My kids are sick.
Oh, man.
So we had our first, I'm going to call it food poisoning.
Oh,
so we went to, my uncle's mother died, and we went to a funeral, and they did the like sandwiches and, chips and dip and everything afterwards. And I was sick. My wife was sick. My 2-year-old was sick. My father was sick. And so it was like 3 days of diarrhea, and she vomited for about 48 hours. But it was sick. It wasn't an illness, right? It was just gut stuff.
Wow.
Does that make sense? Like, she didn't have a fever. She wasn't, hospital. It was just tummy bad, tummy hurt kind of stuff. So
Are you?
But-
That was 48
Sure.
hours.
Yeah, it was about 48 hours, give or take.
I'm sorry you had to deal with that. You know, it's
well,
interesting. I had a coworker that came back from a funeral, and it was in Mexico, and she had to go back home. And unfortunately, her mother passed away. And you know, after that, there was a family get together, and they had food. She came back to the States, and then immediately was like, "Whoa, I ate something at that gathering. Didn't sit well." So it's just interesting the timing of how identical those situations are. Both under
I
very
try and
bad
avoid
circumstances.
food at stuff like that, but we hadn't eaten all day, and it was late in the afternoon, and it was like, forget it, I'm just gonna eat. And who knows, bad mayonnaise or something. We'll go with bad mayonnaise.
There you go. So, Ben, how's life? Feeling better?
Yeah, everybody's good and healthy. Have a minor procedure from one of the kids coming up here next week. So if any of you guys have ever had kids that struggled with ear infections, our daughter struggles with ear infection. She's had like, I think 7 or 8 in the last, I mean, she's only a year and some change, right? And she's had like 7 or 8 in that time frame. And they're usually consecutive, just over and over and over and over again. Every time we bring her in, they're like, did you know she has an ear infection? Did you know she has an ear infection? No, we didn't, because she doesn't show any symptoms. So the remedy for that is to get tubes put in. So that's happening in a couple days. Not super stoked about it, but hopefully this will help her be a little bit better, deal with her ear infections, let her ears drain a little bit better.
Yeah.
And one thing I didn't know in talking to the ear, nose, and throat physician, the tubes actually fall out on their own. So like the eardrum will heal up, and they'll fall. They're supposed to fall out on their own.
Supposed to,
so
apparently.
Hopefully they do. Yeah.
According to Saunders, that's false.
I had mine put in when I was 5, and they were ripped out of my ears at 16 years old because they forgot about them, and scar tissue grew over like the edges.
Ooh.
And that was a very entertaining pediatrician's visit.
Did you?
That being said, it was an outpatient procedure. He just reached in there with a pair of tweezers and he's like, "Why are these still in here?" Yoink! And I was like, "Oh, what was that?" And he's holding the tube.
Did that have any sort of lasting impact on you?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
Nope,
I
my hearing's fine.
Right back up.
I don't have any damage that I'm
bad.
aware of.
For some reason,
every time I get my hearing tested, it's within normal ranges.
Ruptured eardrums, horrible. Yeah. Like you're deaf forever. No.
No.
A lot of kids end up having multiple sets of tubes too. Like a lot of kids will have them at 1, they'll have them at 3, they'll have them like a couple times until their ear infections kind of start going away.
Yeah.
They get a little bigger.
But he was amazed. They lasted 11 years. 11 years.
Impressive.
It was until I had my gallbladder removed. It was the only surgery I'd ever underperformed. Only time I'd ever been under anesthesia. And I was 5.
Huh.
Anyway,
well, luckily
they don't fall out.
Luckily,
make your pediatrician keep checking.
Yeah.
We're doing all right on our end. Nothing crazy. I think Colin has had like a 3-week cough, and it sounds rough. I'm like, what is? But he's acting normal. Everything. None of us have gotten sick, so it's just one of those. But for the most part, no. I think we're good. Quick recap for those who are interested. The Disney trip was quite a success. It was exhausting though. Each day that we were there, it was like 20 to 23,000 steps, somewhere in that range, every day. So it was like, geez, man, it was a good grind. We were there from like rope drop to pretty much park close. And it was a really fun, exciting thing. Now, the thing that I was most stressed about was like, going into it, I had no like, preference for seeing any sort of attractions or going on any specific rides. I was like, man, I'm going to have to learn this app, really get familiarized with the map and all that stuff, and like really navigate my way through Disney. And I'm actually really good with maps. I'm good with orienteering, and it's nice. But my wife and our good buddy's wife, the moms, like just took over. Like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. They were on Genie Plus, reserving all the things. And I was like, this is amazing. I just have to push the stroller and it was good.
Yeah.
And it was done. One random guy, I'm walking around for day 1. Hey, Dad Verb. That was I was like, It was weird. It was weird because I was looking at a shirt and it was like because I don't really like wear, like buy like, I don't know, souvenirs or anything like that. So I was like, what's an acceptable Disney takeaway shirt? And I was looking at this one guy's shirt. I'm like, that's clean, minimal, black, white. I like that. And it was that guy's shirt, and he just happened to look straight at me. He was like, "Hey, Dad Verb." So I was caught off guard, and I was like, "Oh, what's up, man?" But that was a fun little moment to see
Nice.
someone
been recognized.
that was cool for a second. And then, but just because of what I've done in the last few years, I couldn't help but just scan and notice the strollers and the strollers and the strollers, and all that. Not a single veer in sight, man. No wagons.
Mm-mm.
By far, number one brand, without question, not even close. Up a baby, far and away
Vista,
the
man.
most popular brand, the entire park. Yeah, at Disneyland,
like 10 to 1, even at Disney World, like 10 to 1 vistas to everything else.
That is not much of an exaggeration. Like that is, I would almost say on par. And then like vistas, and then I would see a few cruises and menus, but without, like, by far vistas in their inline double mode, like and and so
the full-on kid limousine mode with all the accessories.
Oh yeah, basket fully loaded. In particular, the Emmett Green colorway and the all black Jake colorway, just to get really minute. And those two were that by far most popular. And then second, I would say would have been Mockingbird, which are two of the brands that I like covered some of the most on the Dad Verb channel. Mockingbird, with like a Nuna, what's it called? Pippa seat. I saw a lot of at Adapted. Yeah. But and then from there I saw a lot of baby joggers as well. A lot of baby jogger double wides. I would say that may have like kind of edged for number 3 most popular. I just having done that for the last 6 years, I couldn't help but like clue into the stroller comparisons and numbers there. So and so much so that I was like taking my phone and just recording a lot of the stroller lots throughout the park, just to kind of like shoot and just because I might do a video like, hey, these are the most common strollers at Disneyland. And it got to a point where I think people started looking at me like kind of like, why is he casing the area? Like just looking for strollers to rob.
Why is he casing the strollers?
So I was like, I probably should stop.
Well, it's wild too because they have like parking lot attendants basically for stroller parking.
They do,
like
and they'll like
up
move
and there's
the
like
strollers.
There's a cast member that will like you park your stuff, and if you put it in the wrong spot or it's like out of order or it's disorganized, they'll go and move your stuff to like where it fits, so they can get the most strollers in the stroller parking areas. Yeah, especially around like shows and stuff. That's like a super big deal.
Yeah. And I'm pretty defensive. I kind of get, I'm very cautious of like, we always have to have our eye on the stroller and making sure that, no one's going to steal anything out of there and all that stuff. But very quickly, do you get accustomed to the fact, no, fully loaded everything, wallet, phone, still in the stroller. You just leave it. It just in the middle of the park with everyone else's stuff just out exposed. It was just so common. And it was like, nothing happened. I'm not saying like, don't do that, but like
not a best practice, but like it's you're mildly safe.
Yeah,
I think with all your stuff
felt
there.
That ease, but just like I don't know, just everyone was just doing it. I'm like, oh, cool. So that this is sad that my biggest takeaway from Disneyland was Up a Baby Vista is popular. That's the dumbest thing. No, I had an absolute blast with the rides and all that stuff, and it was good. And honestly, the moms that went along on our trip absolutely dominated and crushed the logistical aspect of it. So it was really cool. All I had to do was just show up and walk.
It's one of the few times in my life I get to be like a true passenger princess, because like my wife, she books all the stuff, she does all the Genie Plus, she does all the logistics of it. I literally show up and I'm like, I don't know what we're doing, what park we're going to. That I ask the morning that we leave at like 6 a.m. What park are we going to today? I have no clue. I don't know what's booked. She books me like my own individual lightning lanes for like specific rides that she knows I want to go on. Yeah. And I'm like, she's like, all right, you got to be here at 3 o'clock. Like I'm going here with the kids. You need to be there. It's like,
How
okay.
amazing is
I was
that?
like, just tell me where to be. I was like, I don't have anything. I'm like, I'm hungry. I need a beer. Where's the ride I need to be on? And how are we getting the kids from A to B? And like, that's all I have to focus on.
It was, yeah, like, cause like it was so nice because it's rare that that's like the case for me. I'm like, I have a heavy hand in like buying the flights and doing all this stuff, but like, no, this trip was really nice. The mom's just like freaking dominated, and I couldn't have been so more grateful. Stopped the intermittent fasting there for a couple of days, and dude, I love churros.
If there are churros.
I have not gotten it. I have not eaten a churro in over a decade, dude. I got the churro, but it was Pixar Fest when we went there, so we got this special. It was called Bing Bong's Fantastic Churro or something like that. You know Bing Bong from Inside Out.
Yeah. Yep.
So they like lathered it with like the strawberry jelly and like a confetti. I was like, hell yes, I'm eating this. I went churro,
it was a sugar
turkey
bomb
leg
with a
churro,
churro
turkey leg. It was amazing, man. I love turkey legs. My wife hates like chicken off the bone, you know what I'm saying? And she like was watching me eat a turkey leg. She's like, "You are barbaric." I'm like, "Man, this is amazing." So I was jamming on the turkey leg, eating churros. It was so full. What else was like a good bite that I had there? I had a lot of good. You know what was really good at Star Wars? At the Star Wars attraction, they had like this blue milk or something.
Blue milk is the blue milk and the green milk are good. Did you get the liquor in it, or did you just get the normal blue milk?
No, because we were sharing it with the kiddos, so it was just a regular, just blue milk.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't even get it. It was my buddy. It was a buddy, another Andrew. Who shout out Andrew Koyman. He got it for his kids, and I was like, nah, I don't really feel like dropping $8 on that. I feel like I'm gonna save it, and we'll get something better, like churros. No, he got the blue milk, and we all just kind of shared it around. And holy crap, that was like the best tasting thing in the park, man. That was so good. Yeah, it was like I don't know how to describe the texture, the flavor profile, but it was delicious. It's something that everyone should try. But anyway,
like blueberry milk or something. You're gonna make
it's like a smoothie, it's fine. Kind of.
Yes,
it's sort of a smoothie.
It is a smoothie.
It's kind of like fruity, citrusy.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's very unique. But there's like blue milk and there's green milk, so you can get like two different flavors.
Yeah, we only did the blue. I should have doubled back and gotten the green, but the blue milk was.
They're both good.
It was great. And just the kids, man, they had an absolute blast just getting to, so when we went to California Adventure, like even for a 4-year-old, like they really enjoyed the roller coasters. What they didn't enjoy were the dark. So like Space Mountain, hated it. They liked the roller coaster aspect. They just hated how dark it was. Pirates of the Caribbean, just like a dark attraction. When it's dark, they're just like, I don't know about this. But if it's like out in the day, like they want it. It was great. We were so bummed out because there was the main like roller coaster in California Adventure and down there is it's called the Incredicoaster. It's off of the Incredibles. We went on that. It was great. Henry was dying to go, and he was like not even an inch short. And I was like, dude, that is a devastating thing to watch your kid get rejected off a ride because a ride that he really wants to. And my heart shattered. So there was like there's like these little rope in the Spider-Man Marvel area. There's like these robotic spiders that I think it's called like Tracy or whatever. It's like
Tracy.
Yeah. So, and there are these things like wandering around, like these electric toys or what. It's $100 for like a Tracy. So I was like, I don't know, but we can't. He gets rejected off the coaster. I'm like, we're buying a Tracy for you, buddy. So
you want 6 of these?
Yeah. So we got him that and like the Iron Man upgrade, the battle improvement upgrade or whatever. I was like, dude, we got it. I felt, dude, your heart breaks for your kid when that happens. Like I did not. I was unprepared for like the tears and how shattered I felt as a dad. So yeah, but then I went right on the ride. I was like, Katie, watch, I'm gonna go on this roller coaster. And I left.
They check them like multiple times too. So like if they hit one height, like they'll check them again at another point, and they'll check them again before they get on the ride. So it's like there's no like cheating the system either. Yeah,
I wanted to like take my socks and like stuff them in his shoes just to give him just a little bit more elevation. But I was like, if he's not tall enough? Like, is it
Tall
safe?
enough?
You know? So I just like,
Yeah.
we just didn't want to push the envelope. And I was like, maybe the guy that was like measuring him was a dick. And I was just like, no, maybe we'll just wait for a different person to rotate in. But we didn't. So that was incredibly fun. Yeah.
So I know why you like blue milk.
Are you gonna
It's
make
a
like a
pina
semen
colada.
joke? Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say something different. No, okay, that's what it tasted like. Yeah, it was like a pina
It's a
colada.
pina colada. Like I'm like,
But
okay,
blue.
what's in this thing? Pineapple juice, coconut milk, rice milk, coconut syrup.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pina colada dyed blue.
Yeah, you know what? If it's blue, I'll drink it. If you know this about me, everyone. If it's blue, I'll drink it.
Right.
But it's also it's a blue pina colada that I get to drink while Kylo Ren and a cadre of stormtroopers walks by me. Yeah. So like I'll pay well, and then if you add the tequila on top, it's like $16. But like I'll buy $16 blue milks all day and just wander around Batu. Like that, I'm in my element. I'm so happy.
See, Andrew, you and I have the opposite rule. You don't drink anything blue or green. Because that's the color they make Drano. Okay?
Oh my gosh. Man.
Antifreeze and Drano, blue and green. You don't drink those.
There are exceptions, but you put some blue number 5 and some pina colada, I'll pay $8 for that. Dude, man. It was there was another thing. We were one of the biggest attractions in the thing is for cars when you go through. What's the name of Radiator Springs, right? Radiator Springs is kind of where cars is set. There's like a ride. A big attraction. Long wait. We're in the middle of the line, right? And we've already been at this point waiting like 45 minutes, and we're kind of getting toward the front of the line. Colin goes, "I gotta go pee," and I was like, "Now? No, hold it, boy." And then it gets to a point where he starts like dancing. Right, he starts dancing. I'm like, come on. So, and we'll get into potty training a little bit, but his kids are holder. Like he's good, but he's like, I gotta go. So I'm like, all right. So we backtrack through all of these people, right? And there just so happens to be one other guy who like saw me going. And he's like, I gotta take my kid too. So we start going, right? We get to to where we entered, and we're like, hey, we gotta go to the bathroom. Where's the closest one? Yeah, you gotta go to the Flo's Diner, and that's where the bathroom is. I was like, okay. And he's like, hey, when you come back, you can just like kind of go and join your family through the lightning lane or the fast lane or whatever. I was like, all right, cool. So we come back. I was like, hey, I got to rejoin my family. And he goes, hey, just take the lightning lane. So we go to the lightning lane. Lightning lane is like basically like this bypass, right? That of like the normal standby line. So I'm in the lightning lane. I'm just walking. And all of a sudden it kind of like forks off and kind of goes a different direction. It's kind of hard for me to get to my family. So I just keep walking down the lane. And I just walk to the front of the line, basically, where it's like only like a couple people deep. And I'm like looking for Katie and the rest of our crew. And I turn around and I'm like, Katie. And she's just like, what are you doing over there? I'm just like, I'm going. so and Colin is just like, where's mom? I'm like, shh. So we just go.
Don't talk about it.
Don't interrupt.
We just
I'm
go.
cheating the system.
It was amazing. So we just go and we do the ride, and Colin loves it. It's amazing. We see Mater and Lightning McQueen and everybody. It was great. We finish the ride, go back to the front, and then just like, and then go to like the main, line. And I have Colin on my shoulders, and I just bull rush through everyone. I'm like, excuse me, sorry, excuse me. And I just go. And then I meet up with Katie and the rest of our squad again. And they're at the front of the line at this point.
So you just went again.
So I just went again. And I was like hoping that the people who like pressed the buttons earlier didn't recognize me and Colin. I don't think they did. And yeah, we got to a little twofer right there. That was really fun. Katie's like, oh my gosh, how was it? And Colin's like, this is great. We got to do it again. So that was fun. And then last highlight, we saw... Well, it's not Falcon anymore. It's Captain America. Anthony Mackie is... What is he? Is he Captain America or is he Falcon? No, he's Captain America.
No.
He's still the Falcon.
He's still the Falcon? But he has Cap's shield.
Well, did he
has
become...
weird white and blue.
No. I think at the end of Falcon and
Winter Soldier,
Winter Soldier, he became Captain America because
he did
Captain
right?
America, who was the blonde guy who wasn't Captain America, turned
Chris
evil.
Evans. Okay.
Oh yeah.
USA agent. Yeah.
He turned evil, and so I think the end of Winter Soldier, he picks up the shield and dons himself as, or
there you go.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. He dons himself as Captain America.
Well, that variant, that iteration of Captain America or Falcon, I don't know. There's a guy standing on top of Avengers headquarters
Tower
or whatever, and he looked like Anthony Mackie, and he was just like waving. I was like, "Holy guys, look at this!" And I freaking fanboyed. I was like, "Look, it's Captain America!" And it was like, "That's not Captain America." I was like, "Yes, it is now. He's the new one." And he's like, "But that one can fly." And it was like amazing. I was like, dude, he looks like, because like we saw Black Widow, but it was just a girl with red hair. We saw like people with but that he looked like Anthony Mackie.
Maybe it was him.
Maybe
he was there.
I've heard of Johnny Depp just kind of being at the end of the Pirates of the Caribbean part where suited up as Jack Sparrow. So like maybe that was Anthony Mackie.
That's Disney World though, right?
Yeah, he'll just randomly apparently will sit in the pirate treasure room chair. Yeah, like in the ride for a while and just like wave at people.
Yeah, it was very convincing.
He apparently kept a couple of those outfits so that he can do that.
He should.
And he does charity work.
Yeah, he's gone to hospitals and done that for kids as well. So anyway,
show up.
That was the rundown of Disney. It was fantastic. Way too expensive.
Rundown of Disney.
Yeah, way
30 minutes later.
Yeah, my bad. But it was fun, man. It was really, really fun. I might do a recap eventually. I don't know. We'll see. But we wanted to quickly buzz about potty training, Saunders. So let's let's segue.
So this fresh in my head because it just happened. But we are in the middle of potty training the 2-year-old. And right? You want to go potty? No, I don't want to go potty. Okay, fine. Like I'm not going to fight you to go sit on the potty to have you not go potty and cry. Like,
what method are you doing?
Do you need to go potty? Yes. Okay, let's go. Method. Do you want to shit your pants today? Excuse my French. Do you want to poop your pants today? No? Okay, let's go use the potty. Method.
Oh, man.
I feel like when you guys talk about like potty training methods, I feel like somebody's in the background like, you can do this, or your option is a cattle prod for your kid. Like, I'm teaching my kid not to poop their pants. That's the method I'm going with.
Well,
and for the most part, she's pretty good about like, I need to go potty. Or like, she only poops her pants when she sleeps. So like poop, we're good about. If she's awake, she's like, poop. I'm like, okay, we're going. And she will poop in the potty. But she woke up and we didn't notice she was awake. I don't know if we didn't notice she was awake, or I don't know if what do you call it? I don't know if we didn't notice, or if she was just quietly sitting in her bed because she likes to do that because she's 2. But she inevitably starts crying, and I walk into a room and she goes, poop. And I'm like, oh, she pooped her pants.
Yeah.
Now she's wearing a pull-up.
Yeah.
But she's at that age where she's wiggling and squiggling and right up the back, right? And it's like, okay, you're getting in the shower. And so I'm of the, okay, I was fine with diapers. I could manage diapers. I could even manage blowouts. But potty training poop is different, people. It's
the doo-doo sauce.
It's sicky.
The sauce it hits different. Yes. So for us, there was a book that we read a while back, and we kind of approached the I think it's called the oh crap potty training method. And basically,
oh crap,
there and we also watched a couple of YouTube videos of just a couple of parents who broke it down. It was really simple, right? So basically, the approach was you strip your kids down naked, and you basically just watch them for like nonstop 24 hours. Like, don't be on your phone, don't do any of that. And maybe it was like a little too aggressive of a tactic, but that's kind of the way we went about it. And basically, they're just naked, right? And they're going about their day. But what you're looking for are PPQs, right? They're right. like whether it's like a fidget or a wiggle or something that's like, I got to go pee, right? And they're not going to make it to the potty, but they know that they don't have anything protecting, but there's like some sort of movement. It's like gonna get them going, or they just outright start going, right? So you basically when that inevitably happens, you take them and you rush them over, even if they just unloaded, right? You rush them over to the bathroom or a potty, a standalone potty, which is situated close by, and you take them there instead. And even if they've already like let it go, you sit them back there and like, hey, this is where we go potty. Next time you need to do that, that feeling happens, that PPQ, right? That parents are looking out for, that needs to be done here. And it was just kind of like that on repetition for like 24 hours, where they're just kind of like naked and they do it. And the reason why naked is so that they can just, they can see and understand that there's nothing catching it at the moment. Because if it's underwear, that sensation is similar to what a diaper is, or pull-ups are. And they still have that comfort to just go, and it's going to be caught, right? So, they understand the consequence of like what happens and like how we got to clean it up and where it's supposed to go. And that's actually kind of what worked for both of our kids. Really smoothly, actually. Colin actually picked it up within a couple hours. Like I think he had like one mistake, and then he was like, okay, no, this is actually where it goes. Because he just felt so much guilt for pissing on the floor, and he just processes guilt and embarrassment so much differently. And he just pissed all over the floor. And then I'm picking him up, I'm rushing him, and he's still like pissing on me. And then I'm like, no, that's not where we do it anymore. We do it here.
You need a shower. I don't think it's the like cleaning up the poop, and it's the like, I have like, not only do I got to clean all that up, now I got to go take a bath, right? I have to go clean up because it's a mess.
Yeah. But it's like,
that's the part that's a burden.
They make that mess, and it's like they now have this newfound understanding, where it's like, oh, and it's not, it's like a fear mechanism or something like that kind of kicks in. It's like, oh, no, I have to go where they told me to go. Now I have to go there. Can I go there now? Okay, this is how I'm going to go. And that was kind of like the process. I'm not saying that that's the right way or the wrong way. It's borderline excessive. But it is one way that we read about. That was a popular way, and that's the way we went, and it worked for two of our kids, and we're gonna do it again for our daughter. She turns 2 very soon. No, she's already 2. We just celebrated her birthday. We're gonna fire.
He's forgetting how old his children are. He's got so many of them.
So yeah, that was kind of where how we went about it, and again, that's it's going to happen for kid number 3 shortly. Ben, you've had to do that, right?
Yep. Yeah, we did the full potty training with our because our oldest is almost 4. He'll be 4 in August. So we went through the whole thing. We tried a couple of weekends of him just like being naked and just letting him figure it out. Yeah. Didn't work as well for us. So the method that worked really well for us was the 30-minute timer. So it's just every 30 minutes you set a timer. And so every 30 minutes he goes and sits on the potty. And at the beginning he would sit on the potty, and we had like a travel one that would go in the living room. So just like he had one there, and then we changed out a bunch of our toilet seats. So they have like a magnetic child size seat that flips down. Makes it really easy for him to use the bathroom now, because now he just knows, he goes, oh, I got to go potty, and he runs off, and he's perfectly fine by himself. Yeah, it was every 30 minutes. We had the portable potty. We had a travel potty in our vehicles just in case. And that was about it. I mean, we did that for a couple weeks, and he pretty much got it. And then now, he still like wears a pull-up at night. But I mean, there's kids that are, 5, 6, 7 years old that still wear pull-ups at night. So him almost being 4, it's a pretty normal thing. Most mornings he's waking up dry, but I think it's more for us too. Like if he gets wet in the middle of the night, like I got to wake up at 3 a.m. and go change his sheets and put a new mat down and all this other stuff. And I'd rather get a good night's sleep. And we know that eventually his bladder will be strong enough that he'll be perfectly fine to hold it all the way through the night. Yeah. Probably pretty soon, to be honest.
Yeah. Nighttime potty
it was really easy,
different,
real straightforward.
Everybody. Yeah, I mean, it's some kids will stay in like a pull up till 6, 7, even. But
did you do the potty watch thing? We did that one. That works actually pretty well.
Oh,
so I have a little watch that she wears that beeps and buzzes and vibrates, and so like every.
Oh, I never heard of that one.
The minimum one is 15 minutes, and the maximum one's 90 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And so the problem is she learned how to shut off the timer. So when it goes off, if we don't catch it, she'll mute it. And then it'll be like, wait, that's been more than a half an hour. Why are you not? Like she outsmarted us on the potty watch. But that is pretty effective, was pretty effective. We're up to like almost an hour between potty, like have tos.
Yeah.
My mother is a lot better. So my mom babysits for us, and she's a lot better about like putting her in underwear and actually noticing the potty cues and things. But she's an early childhood educator and spent like 15 years.
Oh,
in
so
she's
been around.
So she's
block.
just like, aha, that's the sign.
Yeah,
you gotta go, kid.
You know what's nerve-wracking is that first like kind of outing. You know, like they're just now like they're potty trained, but now we're gonna go to Target for an hour or two or something like that.
Right.
And it's like, all right, how do they handle this situation? And that's such like a nerve-wracking. Like, can they do it? It's it's like you always got to be carrying spares, you know, underwear, shirt, all that spare outfit.
Well, I mean,
ready to clean up.
If they're distracted at all, like that's tough because like even now, right? Like there was probably a couple, maybe 6 months where like my son was watching a movie, or if we were doing something like playing or whatever, and he just didn't think about it. All of a sudden he'd stop and go, "Oh no, I peed," and like he just didn't realize that it was happening until it was already too late, and his bladder wasn't strong enough for him to like figure out how to hold it and get to the bathroom. It's like distraction is always tough when they're kind of like 3-4 years old, and then eventually they figure out like their brain just starts getting the signal and they're good to go. Like my son will stop in the middle of something he's doing and just go, "I gotta go potty," and just like sprint off through the house.
Just runs off.
Yeah, he literally just like sprints off through he just sprints off through the house. You hear his little potty seat slam down and he's good to go.
That's funny.
That's a good sign,
so
man.
my buddy's daughter, River, they were at Costco and she had been potty trained. She was in underwear and she lost it. She just hit the ground crying, like, right? She was having a meltdown, and he's like, "What just happened to my kid?" Right? And he gets down there and what's wrong? Like, are you okay? And she goes, "I trusted the wrong fart." And she had let one go, right? And she's just losing it because she pooped her pants, right? But it was she knew what happened, and she I trusted the wrong, just the way. And he's like, it was all I could do to keep a straight face and be like, "It's okay, we'll go buy some clothes." Right? Luckily they're at Costco, they could just go buy some kids' clothes and change her and all resolved. But I was like, oh my God, that is like the perfect way to be like, "Where are you going?" "I gotta go to the bathroom before I trust the wrong fart." Like,
yo guys, can I be like extra vulnerable with you right now?
It's happened to you, hasn't it? Trusted the wrong fart.
It's happened to everybody. But this is like a very recent thing. I was at my work.
You're an adult.
One too many blue milks and too many turkey legs, and Andrew was trusting the wrong farts.
I was visiting a buddy of mine who works at this ad agency that I used to work at that happens to be like across the parking lot from where I'm at, you know? So it's like, it's really close. I'm like, I'll just walk over. So I went and said, "Hi, what's up?" Came back right before I get into the elevator, pop a fart. Wasn't a fart, a little extra. And I remember like standing in the elevator and I'm like, "Oh, this is a problem." And I literally said it out. I said it like out into the ether. I'm just like, "Oh, this is a problem." And I'm like in my full like work, you know, slacks and button up and everything like that. And I'm like, "Oh no." So I take a couple steps off the elevator and I instantly start not booking it. I'm just tenderly walking to toward the bathroom.
The dance.
Yeah,
there's a dance.
There's a little extra squish in between. I'm like, no. It's and it wasn't like a prairie dog.
You also don't want to move like too fast and make it worse. See, there's a very specific walk you have to do. To like keep it
clench, all, you know, lead with the heels. You know, a lot
of. So since we've gone there already, I will follow the vulnerability wagon here. So I had my gallbladder out 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Before I had kids, so it had to be 3 years ago. And one of the things that they don't tell you like regularly about having your gallbladder is fatty foods just go through you, right? So like there are certain oils that I cannot eat anymore. There are certain restaurants I go to where I just finish my meal and I go, nope, I need about 5 minutes and then I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because I now know that there is a process and my body handles it differently, right? Your gallbladder is the way your intestines deal with fats. So like animal fats, oils, that kind of thing. Anyway, so it's maybe 3-4 months after I've had gallbladder surgery. I'm at my buddy's house and we're eating brats or something. He's having a pool party. I'm just standing there and he said something and I did that like I had a cough thing, but I just let one go because like the whole abdominal clenched and apparently it was a little pressurized down there. And I went, I gotta go. And I go to the bathroom and I send my wife a text. I'm like, you have to go to Target, then you have to get me underwear.
Oh,
because
okay.
I
So
can't
it
come
blew
out of
through.
this bathroom.
Okay.
This is over.
Let me.
And she was like, you mean, I'm like, no, you need to stop what you are doing, leave, and go get me underwear because I have wrecked myself and this is a problem.
Okay, so
30-year-old man, by the way.
This just happened to me too. It's 35. Okay, but I will say, I checked I was able to contain the blast so that it didn't road streak. What is that? It didn't streak the back, right? Because I was like, dude. So there was the squish. It was all between the cheeks. It didn't actually. I was able to catch it.
Didn't exit.
The quick clench before the full exit. So it was a smear, but only in the cheeks. And then no hit on the
This podcast has gone downhill.
We lost all subscribers. There's no listeners.
It's gonna be an
unchecked. If you were looking for something useful out of this one, it is not
it's
it.
Gone.
No, this is not.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and click that notification bell so you know when we get another one.
Man, I mean, we talk about this with our kids, but never for us. But hey, it happens anyway.
Happens.
You know what?
Still happens.
Thank you for listening, guys. That'll do it for this week's episode of the Dad Verb Podcast.
I think anybody who's ever bodybuilded and drank way too much whey protein can attest that this happens.
It's got to. It's got to. Guys, you can always check out dadverb.com for courses to not hold your bowels in, but for courses from pregnancy up through first year of fatherhood. So you can join our Discord as well. Did I say Discord? Discord.
Playing a lot of Marvel on the duck walk to the bathroom. Yeah.
You can join us on Discord. It's going to be linked in the show notes as well as the description of the YouTube video. And hey, Dad Gang. Ben and I are repping our Dad Gang hats. You can always use code DADVERB at dadgang.co for some
by the way, Dad Gang, if you're out there, you need to sell bigger hats because I measured this noggin and I'm a 7.5 to 7 5/8, and you only go to 7 1/4. So I can't buy any of your hats.
Oh, Dad Gang, keep note. For those who aren't with the big noggin as Saunders, go check out dadgang.co. I absolutely love their stuff. You can always use Dad Verb for 10-15% off their hats. So go and check that out. Thank you guys for listening. Sorry for the TMI. It happens. Maybe don't cut this up and use this on your TikToks, huh? Let's keep this between us.
Yeah.
This will be that'll be our number one viral post is you duck walking it in Disneyland. I'll cut this, right? Don't worry.
Man. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.